Alright everybody, the screenshots that I just shared at the beginning of this video are unfortunate and in my eyes pathetic as an event that happened, especially to people around the Crossville, Tennessee area who enjoy urban exploring and or ghost hunting. This building that burnt down that you saw in the pictures was called the Old Wyatt House. It's also been considered the Old Vandever House or the Old Whore House. And honestly, it's the idea of it being a whorehouse was basically some dumb rumor that just got passed around. The place was never a whorehouse. It was actually an old bed and breakfast. If you want more information about this building, then I will share a link down below, at least one or two links about what it was about. Now, the events that inspired it burning down, besides the common sense that there was a fire involved, are still somewhat unclear. There is no actual information about what caused it to burn down or who burned it down, whether it was accidental or purpose. Some ideas that have been floating around and I'm going to go from least likely to most likely, and the ideas of for the most part, what are rumors. The three biggest ideas are that there might have been a homeless person staying there who made a fire, because there were there was one fireplace in the house in the main living area, and there's been the idea that maybe a homeless person made a fire to stay warm one night in there, and it just got out of hand and it burnt down, because the house was majorically made out of wood, as you could see in the screenshot. Another idea that got passed around is that there may have been, since it was Friday the 13th, some young punks being, dumbass kids who decided to, had the idea, oh hey, maybe it was like maybe if it burns down on Friday the 13th, it'll be creepy and it'll be a funny joke. And I'm not saying that's what happened, but if that is what happened, then that's pretty fucking pathetic. Another idea is that, for those of you who didn't know, the place had earlier this year come under new ownership, and from from rumors of people that are friends with others that had gone and stuff like that, apparently the new ownership, the people who owned it at that point, were a little bit, in their words, more douchey and a little more strict about people coming in and out and going ghost hunting and stuff like that. Young kids that occasionally went and had parties there and got tired of it, so they burned it down. And one problem that there was with the house, as beautiful as a house as it was, there were, based upon the few times I had been there, we actually filmed the story for Dreamwatcher there called Eamon's Letter. And whenever we went there back in July, the end of July, based upon all the other times we'd been there, each time there was more and more vandalism that you could see had been done. There had been graffiti done there. There had been windows that had been busted out. There had been, the front door to the building and a couple other doors had been knocked down and stolen and or burned or trashed. There was no clue where those were, and that's one of the biggest ideas of a possibility that's being passed around right now, is that the owners get tired of people coming by and vandalizing it. And that's a problem whenever you go urban exploring or doing anything or going to these abandoned places. You need to respect the place that you're going to and respect the property. It's not yours. So you need to have, besides searching around, exploring it, you need to have as little contact with it as possible, as in affecting its standing point. And while I was telling you that, I was just thinking also there was the possibility that there's a possibility that, as a fourth option, that there may have been some junkies there doing something they weren't supposed to, and obviously, doing drugs or whatever, but then burning the place down because of whatever they were doing. There's that possibility too. No one knows exactly who or why it was burnt down, but like I mentioned, we, being myself and 3 others, went and filmed the last story of my film Dream Watcher there, and before we filmed that, I also formed a little vlog. Filmed a little vlog. It was about 10.5 minutes long, showing where we were exploring the old Vandever house, and I will show you here at the end of the video some of the clips I got from the exploring video, the urban exploring video we did there, where there were some spots where there were vandalism, such as graffiti, and how the front door was missing, and how there were some windows that were gone. And I'm not going to show you a whole bunch of, I'm not going to show you many clips from that, but I'm just going to show you a few small clips about how there was vandalism there. And I think it's really sad that that place ended up getting burnt down, because myself and my few friends who I did go with, and the couple friends who introduced me to that place when I first went back in January of this year, there are a few of us who actually go to places like that to explore and appreciate the historic value of it and the energy of old places like that, and actually, treat the place respectfully. And because of people that screw over and abuse privileges to be able to go in there, whether it's technically legal or not, it ruins it for the rest of us who want to share beautiful historic places like that with you. So I'm going to show a few short clips of that place, how there had been vandalism whenever I'd gone. And if you want to watch the whole video in which me and my friends explored there while it was still standing a few months ago, I'll put the link in the description also. And there are a couple times in the full video where we were kind of joking around a little bit, but if you watch the whole video, my friends and I did nothing but act respectful for that place, which is unfortunate because some people don't do that. So, here are some of the clips right here of vandalism that was in that place.
But see, look how nice and new that lumber is that's made out of. That's what some people drive on the depot. Yeah, I mean, somebody went to Lowe's or somewhere and got that and bought them out. Man, it may have been a version of it.
We got a couple floors right here.
Just another adventurer, I suppose.
Check it out up here.
And even though it wasn't included in any of the clips you just watched, it was pretty obvious that the owner of the place knew that there were squatters who stayed there, or at least somebody did, because when we arrived and we first went into the house during this night, there were like 5 or 6 mini roast beef sandwiches and some waters on there on the first set of stairs. So I don't think the owner would have had any problems with people staying there and being squatters, because obviously that's a pretty habitable place for some people to stay. But it's still a very saddening event that this place is burnt down. And that's just one more thing that's been taken away from Crossville that's interesting to the public and in general.